Good morning, viewers. It's the polling day after a month-long, in fact, 1.5-month-long high decibel campaign where gloves were truly off in Maharashtra. Now all eyes will be on what will be the voter turnout. Will Maharashtra and particularly Mumbai set the trend, or will the Mumbaikars be lazy early morning? I can see our reporters up and about early morning, and Radhika is outside Walsingham School in Mumbai. We also have Anuj from Wagle State in Thane. Interesting battle playing out in Thane in particular because it's a Sena bastion. That's where the Asli Sena debate will be settled. So starting with you, Anuj, can you see queues outside? I think you're outside a pink booth, if I'm right.
Yes, this is a pink booth, and as we all know that, the number of pink booths are increasing across the country. This is the Kori Pats Pankadi constituency, booth where Chief Minister Eknath Shinde is going to come, in the next few minutes. And you can see that the arrangements have been made. If we get just, we'll go and see what the pink booth looks like from close by. It's been done to promote or to encourage more women voters to make their way here to the polling booths, and we've seen that it's received very good reception right since the morning. You can see that it's entirely, or if not mostly, women staff which is present inside, which gives easy accessibility to women voters here early in the morning. And we've seen that a lot of voters have made their way, and irrespective of what booth they are, they make their way here to the pink booth, considering how colorful and attractive it is. But when you talk about this constituency, when you talk about this polling booth, it's seen some really good amount of people's involvement, as far as voting is concerned. We've seen people of all ages, be it youngsters, be it senior citizens, they've all made a point to come here and vote early in the morning. We've seen that many people have also brought their children along with them, considering that's a school holiday. And in several schools, there's a rule that they should make their parents go and vote, otherwise the holiday would not really be given. So, you see there are different stories playing out here in Thane. And we've got a few voters here. Now let's just try and talk to them about what exactly it is like right after they've voted. Sir, आपने वोट कर दिया?
Yes.
आप दिखा दोगे एक बार वहाँ पे? बताइए कि सर, चीफ मिनिस्टर एकनाथ शिंदे इस कंस्टिट्यूएंसी से आते हैं, तो उस हिसाब से आपको लगता है कि इस कंस्टिट्यूएंसी का फायदा हुआ है?
जरूर, बहुत फायदा हुआ है।
बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत फायदा हुआ है। लाडली बहन को भी दिया है, बहुत अच्छा किया है।
ये जो स्कीम्स वगैरह लाई, अभी आपने लाडली बहन की, लाड़की बहन की बात की, वो लाड़की बहन हो गई या फिर किसानों की हो गई या इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल की हो गई, आप जो इस एरिया में रहते हैं, वोट करते हैं, आपको लगता है कि यहाँ पे पूरा मोमेंटम बदलेगा उसकी वजह से?
जरूर जरूर जरूर।
तो आप ऑप्टिमिस्टिक है, पॉजिटिव है उसके बारे में?
या
ओके. Yeah, these are the voters who are, and not just these, but we've been speaking to a lot of voters here who are very optimistic about, Eknath Shinde repeating his another term as at least the MLA from this particular constituency. It is considered to be a safe bet for him. But, it will really be interesting to see what kind of turnout do we see, especially in the MMR region. Because, if you exclude the exteriors of the Mumbai region, the Mumbai city as such always has a very poor voter turnout. It is considerably low, even when compared to places like Vidarbha, places like Marathwada. These are the places which are deprived of water, deprived of proper infrastructure, and many also have security issues as well when you talk about Vidarbha. But even there we see voting turnout is in respectable numbers as opposed to places like Mumbai and close by regions where it has taken a hit. But it will be interesting to see what kind of reaction do people have, because whatever has happened in the last 2 to 3 years, especially since 2022, after the split of two parties, we've seen that the people have shown their growing disinterest in politics, because no matter whom they vote for, they would not know which party that particular individual will be a part of the next morning. So,
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how has that entire dynamics come out to play here on the voting day.
Right, voter disenchantment in terms of the splits that we have seen in parties in Maharashtra have been something that we have witnessed in the recent Lok Sabha elections as well. But going over to Radhika now, Radhika, has the number of voters increased at the booth that you are standing at, and also what's the voter sentiment on ground?
Not really. The number of voters have not increased, but I'm going to go straight across to a couple, a senior citizen couple who are dressed very interestingly, tricolor on their attire, a tricolor hat. They call themselves patriotic, voters, and they've come nice and early to cast their vote, and they're showing the inked finger as well. Sir, आप बताइए, आप जल्दी आ गए वोट करने के लिए, ज़्यादा लोग नहीं है, तो आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे यंग वोटर्स को?
यंग वोटर्स आज जो विश्व में जो युद्ध की परिस्थिति है, इसमें अपना मतदान का पूरा ऑल यूथ शुड ऑब्जर्व देयर वोटिंग राइट्स और ऐसे समझे कि जो मोदी जी बोल रहे हैं दुनिया में वसुधैव कुटुंबकम होवे, तो यूथ को उतर के ये पूरी जो आज यूक्रेन में सब ठिकाने हिजबुल्लाह में जो हो रहा है उससे ये पृथ्वी को बचावे और अपन सब एक मिल के यूथ।
आप बताइए क्या मुद्दे पे आपने वोट किया आज?
हम मुद्दे पे यही है कि बस हिंदुस्तान पूरा हमारा रहे, हमेशा हमारा रहेगा और इसीलिए हम वोटिंग करते हैं। झगड़ा मत करो, एक बन के रहो।
मालाबार हिल कंस्टिट्यूंसी में क्या क्या इश्यूज है, जो क्या चेंजेस आप देखना चाहेंगे?
मलाबार हिल्स में तो सब अच्छा है, बाकी बहुत सी चीज़ें हैं मैं कहना चाहती हूँ पर अभी नहीं कह सकती हूँ क्योंकि कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगा, इसके लिए नहीं बोलती हूँ।
लोकल इश्यूज के बारे में
Radhika, just a moment because Sharad Pawar is speaking. Let's listen in.
महाराष्ट्र में टक्केवारीमध्ये मागे राहिलं हे एक समजणे आणि म्हणून माझं आव्हान आहे महाराष्ट्राच्या जनतेला की मतदानासारखं कोणत्याही परिस्थितीत बजावा. तुम्हाला जी व्यक्ती जो राजकीय पक्ष योग्य वाटत असेल त्याला तुम्ही आपलं मतदान द्या, पण मतदान करा.
निवडणुकीच्या शेवटच्या टप्प्यामध्ये अक्षरशः म्हणजे कुठे पैसे वाटताना कुणीतरी मोठा पदाधिकारी भारतीय जनता पक्षाचा आढळून येतो, कुठेतरी गाडीवरती हल्ला होतोय, जीवघेणे हल्ले होत आहेत. हे जे रूप आलेलं आहे तर याला म्हणजे कुठली यंत्रणा कुठेतरी कमी पडते असं म्हणायचं का?
साधारणतः महाराष्ट्रात मतदान नेहमी शांततेने होतं, पण नागपूर जिल्ह्यामध्ये माजी गृहमंत्री अनिल देशमुख यांच्यावर हल्ला झाला, तो अस्वस्थ करणारा अशा प्रकारचा हल्ला होता. असे प्रकार सहसा म्हणजे कुठे छोटे मोठे शक्यते होतात, नाही असं नाही, पण यावेळी थोडंसं त्या जादा दिसल्या, पुन्हा त्या होऊ नयेत अशीच अपेक्षा.
काल रात्री उशिरा एक प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स झाली दिल्लीमध्ये आणि त्या प्रेस कॉन्फरन्समध्ये सुप्रिया सुळे आणि नाना पटोले यांची नावं आली आणि त्या नावांच्या ऑडिओ क्लिप्स घेऊन त्यांच्यावरती बिटकॉईनच्या संदर्भानं पैसे मागितल्याचा आरोप एक IPS झाले पण जॉईन न झालेले IPS आहेत जे बडतर्फ झाल्यानंतर त्यांनी केलेले होते, ते आताही पुण्यामध्ये पत्रकार परिषद करतात.
जी व्यक्ती एक महिने तुरुंगात होती त्याचं म्हणणं काय, याची नोंद तरी कशाला घ्यायची? माझ्या मते त्याची नोंद घेण्याची आवश्यकता नाही.
केंद्रीय पातळीवर पत्रकार परिषदा वगैरे घेतली.
This is not even important for me to react this entire issue surrounding Supriya Sule.
भाजप आणि त्यांच्या एकंदरीत सगळ्या कॅम्पेनकडे बघायचा दृष्टिकोन किती खालच्या पातळीचा आहे हे स्पष्ट होते. त्यापेक्षा अधिक त्याचा मला भाष्य करायचं नाही.
This shows the level of the dirtiness of especially the perspective that the BJP has while looking at political competition.
लोक बदल अपेक्षित करतात, मतदानाचा निर्णय त्या संदर्भात घेतील असं मला कायम भीती.
जागांचा अंदाज काय साहेब?
काल विनोद तावडेंची ज्या बाबतीत प्रकार झाला, भाजपच्याच माणसाकडनं आम्हाला सांगितलं विरोधाचं टाकलं.
असं की त्याची फॅक्टर दिवसात मला माहिती नाही. तुम्ही जी काय माहिती दिली ती बघितली, पण लगेच त्याच्यावर काही भाष्य करणार नाही, कारण
Sharad Pawar said that he doesn't know much details about the entire Vinod Tawde matter, so he doesn't. It's not right to speak about it without knowing many details.
मी काही ज्योतिषी नाही, पण मला चित असं दिसतंय की बहुमत मिळावं.
175 जागा येतील असं अजित पवार म्हणतात आणि बारामतीत काय
माझ्या मते सगळे खरं सांगायचं पाहिजे 270 280 सांगायला पाहिजे असे 150 सांगायला चुकीचं आहे किती
170 नाही 170 येतील जागा.
अजित पवारांच्या सांगता सुधीमध्ये पवार उपस्थित होते. त्यांनी पत्र सुद्धा त्या ठिकाणी वाचून टाकलं ज्यामध्ये अजित पवारांवरती अन्याय झाला त्यांनी खूप सहन केलं असं त्या पत्रात
माहिती आम्ही काय झालं म्हणजे मुख्यमंत्री ते आहे सत्ता त्यांच्या हातात आहे हे चौथ्यांदा मुख्यमंत्री झाले विजेंद्र पवार आता तरुण मुलगा होता तो कशातच काही नाही त्यामुळे अन्याय कसा
मग तुम्ही सुप्रिया सुळेंवरती अन्याय केला का मग?
कशासाठी
कारण त्यांना तुम्ही पद दिले नाही, त्यांना तुम्ही मुख्यमंत्री बनवलं नाही, त्यांना तुम्ही
म्हणजे रेवंत रेड्डी सुद्धा पुण्यामध्ये काल बोलताना असं म्हटलं की शरद पवारांनी सुप्रिया सुळेंना कधीच मंत्रिपद दिलं नाही जे अजित पवारांना कायम दिलं.
ते सुप्रिया सुळेंना बारामतीकरांनी चौथ्यांदा संसदेत पाठवलं याच्यातच समाधान आहे.
म्हणजे तुमच्याकडे लाडका पुतना योजना होती.
Satisfied with sending Supriya Sule to Parliament for 4 times with the help of Baramatikars. There is no need, for any special ministerial berth. This was a response to a question asked over. He showed favoritism, either for Supriya Sule or for Ajit Pawar by giving one of them more posts than the other.
सर आज आपने मतदान किया है यहाँ पे क्या कहना है सर लोगों से क्या अपील है और क्या लग रहा है सर महाराष्ट्र का परिणाम क्या होगा?
दूसरा क्या करना है लोगों ने ये फतिया में शामिल होने की आवश्यकता है और मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि महाराष्ट्र के मतदाता भारी संख्या से इसमें शामिल हो जाएंगे शांति से मतदान हो जाएगा और 23 तारीख के बाद ये देश के सामने आएगा कि राज चलाने की जिम्मेदारी वो किसके ऊपर देते हैं.
सर कल रात में एक बीजेपी ने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके दावा किया है कि बिटकॉइन के पैसे यहाँ यूज किए गए और सुप्रिया सुले जी और नाना पटोले जी का नाम लिया गया कि इनकी ऑडियो क्लिप है उनके पास.
बीजेपी कौन सी लेवल पर जाती है इसका एक उदाहरण है. जिसने आरोप किया था वो आदमी जेल में था कई महीनों से और ऐसे लोगों को सामने लेकर झूठे इल्जाम लगाना ये ओनली भारतीय जनता पार्टी कर सकती है.
सर एनडीए की सरकार बनाने की कितनी संभावना है?
NCP Supremo Sharad Pawar, the veteran of politics in Maharashtra and also, of course, the whole of country. We have Anuj who continues to be with us. Anuj, of course, Sharad Pawar responding to the entire political blame game which has begun last night when the BJP did that press conference, released some alleged audio clips of which had purported, audio of Supriya Sule. She has responded. Now Sharad Pawar speaking on it. What exactly did he say? A quick word on that for our viewers.
Much like what Supriya Sule said yesterday, even Mr. Sharad Pawar completely refuted the claims, and he also talked about how, according to him, this shows the levels to which the BJP can fall down to create a fake narrative, for getting their political competitors outside the fray. But he also said that he has a lot of faith in the voters and the fact that they wouldn't fall for such cheap tricks which have been played here by the Bharatiya Janata Party. He said that it seems to be like a last moment attempt by the Bharatiya Janata Party to salvage some sort of a goodwill. But he said that the incidents that took place late at night, as far as Supriya Sule's case is concerned, are not even important or serious enough for him to address, as he's completely refuted the existence of them.
Okay, so Sharad Pawar there not even addressing that because he thinks it's flippant, it will not impact the elections in Maharashtra today. But the larger question is, do voters get swayed with these kind of last minute gimmicks that are played by political parties? Let's bring in Dr. Kartikeya Batra, Aditi Fadnis and Sajjan Kumar. Sajjan, as someone who has travelled across Maharashtra, your thoughts on this? Do voters get impacted? Because, one may say that even those who are the fence sitters, they would have made up their mind by last night.
Precisely this election, one substantial change, if you compare to the Lok Sabha election ambience in Maharashtra is that there is nothing called a binding narrative. This is more like a municipality election. We are calling it assembly election, but if you go, every seat is having its own dynamics. So voters have made up their mind, but the mind is made up their mind on the basis of candidates are taking a front seat, parties are taking back seat, ideology and every sort of thing. There is so much of confusion that everywhere the primacy of the candidate is their only binding factor. And for that, I would be looking out that if there is more women turnout or substantial women turnout, I think that may have a resonance for the incumbent, because across all the regions, 6 regions in Maharashtra, be it Vidarbha, Marathwada, North Maharashtra, Paschim Maharashtra, Konkan, Thane, or Mumbai region, one factor that was having some resonance was the impact of the Ladki Bahin Yojana. So that is why people have made up their mind to vote to the best candidate that they perceive. It is transcending the party and ideology consideration. So the ones who are managing it better, ones who have more organizational investment, they are having the edge in that constituency. But one thing that is there among the women constituency, I think they may emerge as the X factor. Will that X factor will be the decisive game changer or not is something to be seen. But I think that people have made up their mind as per the candidates, and women are getting swayed. To what extent I cannot say, but directionally, yes, they are getting swayed with the Ladki Bahin Yojana. So if more women turnout happens in a good number, I think that would be advantageous to the incumbent. If you see the different regions, we do see that the regions wherein you have more OBCs like Vidarbha, etc., you find that Vidarbha, North Maharashtra, and even the Konkan region, wherein Kunbis outnumber Marathas. No, they call themselves Maratha, but on paper they are Kunbis. So that's the confusion. So there you find that Jarange Patil factor is not working effectively. Only region wherein I found that there is a substantial consolidation for the Maha Vikas Aghadi because of the Jarange Patil factor, not the Sharad Pawar factor, was in Marathwada, accounting for just 46 seats.
Okay.
In rest of the region, I see it seems to be a fair fight or slight is to the Mahayuti. But among the women, I do see that the turnout may indicate that perhaps Ladki Bahin Yojana, the scheme-centric image, is taking roots. Yeah.
Right, bringing in Aditi Fadnis now. Aditi, taking off from what Sajjan Kumar there was saying, you know, the Maratha factor, the 30% of 30% vote bank of Marathas in Maharashtra is of course something which is crucial for both the MVA as well as the Mahayuti. Now, there's a lot of talk about how BJP has taken certain lessons from their Haryana win. So in terms of working out the caste arithmetic, or especially managing the Maratha votes in Maharashtra, what are some of the significant changes you feel that the Mahayuti has been able to bring about in their campaign since their Lok Sabha poll results?
Well, I can't say that they have had any very successful or very profound effect on Maratha politics. As you know, the race to include Marathas in the list of reservations has been pretty viral between both alliances. And they introduced a bill in the assembly. That bill was struck down by the court, etc., etc. Meanwhile, Jarange Patil had started a campaign, but even before that, there was a campaign to reassert Maratha pride after the rape of a Maratha girl allegedly by 2 Dalit boys. So, that led to a silent Morcha campaign, and all that has coalesced in a sense among Marathas that they are powerful, but they don't have authority. And I think this election, both sides are trying to woo the Maratha vote. Jarange Patil was going to become an important element, but from what I hear, he decided first that he would not contest the assembly. Then he said he would pit his weight behind the MVA. Then now apparently he's kind of standing silent and making a tactical position in various places. So definitely the Maratha question, if you would like to call it that, has not been settled by this election.
Yes, but the interesting point that was made by Sajjan was also the women voter and the entire buzz around Ladki Behan. You know, the question here is that optics-wise, there seems to be that united MVA and a united Mahayuti. Of course, it started on a very different note till the time they sorted out the ticket distribution. But the fact is that it's a hyper-localized election that's happening in Maharashtra, Aditi. Do you think whenever there is a localized election where candidates matter more than the political party, then it's an open election?
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. Just about the women voters, it is very interesting that in Jharkhand, as well as in Karnataka, as well as in Maharashtra, as well as in Madhya Pradesh, women are being aggressively wooed, basically with cash, basically with an allowance, to get them to vote for the whoever, I mean, either side. So clearly, both parties, both alliances, both sets of political forces feel that women's votes are a vote that is up for grabs still. I know that in Jharkhand, the turnout of women was quite high, relatively speaking, to men, mainly because of the Maya scheme, which also gives an allowance to women, and 4 months allowances was given altogether at once just before the assembly election, which means that 8,000 rupees per woman in the household, which has, you know, 2 or more women who are eligible for the scheme, is a lot of money in those parts. The thinking behind allowances for women is how much more free food, how much more gas, how much more free house, how much can people eat. So best to give it to a woman, make travel free for her. It enables her mobility, it pushes her into the employment stream, and it gives her the freedom to consume. And as we know, consumption is a big issue in the slowing down of the rural economy in India
That's
today.
actually very fascinatingly put there, Aditi. And you know, Tanima, women voters, the pink voters are the deciding voter. They will very well be termed as the X factor of these elections in both the states. Maya Samman, and here it is Ladki Behan.
The Ladki Behan scheme, exactly. The women voters being aggressively wooed by all the parties and alliances in the fray today. Bringing in Kartikeya Batra also in the conversation. Another aspect which might be was a bit of a trouble, in fact, for both the alliances in Maharashtra was the rebel factor. There are a number of rebels who are contesting as independent candidates across the state today. Who do you think will be hit most by this, whether it will be MVA which has to pay a higher cost for this, or the Mahayuti?
You're asking me to probably resolve the biggest mystery of this election 2 days before the results are out. That's really unfair. So I think that
we are putting up as anybody's guess here.
Yeah,
because we do not know either. Tanima and I are racking our brains on that.
Maria, the thing is that in Haryana, you knew that there was one side which was at the receiving end of this factor. In Maharashtra, both sides are at the receiving end of this factor. Because it's not just that independents are going to dent the MBA, like the BJP said, a very good sort of net around the Congress in Haryana, but here even the Mahayuti is facing internal dissent, and so their own candidates are hurting them. So it remains to be seen what happens. What I can say is, given the resources that the Mahayuti has, and given that the BJP seems to be better at last mile connectivity and management, probably they know their way out better. But at the end of the day, as Sajjan Bhai was saying, that it is a hyper-local election.
Yes.
And if it's a hyper-local election, it is anybody's guess. And so you're not looking at one large election. You're not even looking at regional elections where 5 different regions are voting on different patterns. You're probably looking at 288 different elections, right? And so the point is that how can you wager a guess based on when you know that it's that granular? Now, I must add that there are some factors that are playing across the state. So, for example, the whole defections, the breakup of the party, this Ladki Bahin Yojana is working across the state. Then there are regional factors. You go to Vidarbha and Marathwada, there is rural distress. You go to North Maharashtra, there is onion prices. In Marathwada, there is also Maratha reservation issues, the Thane Konkan, the UB sort of Shiv Sena's versus Shiv Sena factor, Western Maharashtra Sharad Pawar versus Ajit Pawar factor, and then superimposed on these statewide and regional issues are your hyper-local issues. So it's a multi-layered sort of competition. So the people you just saw who were voting, they were clear they were voting for the party symbol. But that may not be very obvious to a lot of other people. And I think that's what makes this election very complicated.
You made an interesting point, because I was in Nandgaon, which is in rural Nashik, part of that Nashik Western Maharashtra belt. And in that constituency, the battle was between Samir Bhujbal, who is the nephew of Chhagan Bhujbal, and he was seen as essentially a woodcutter because he rebelled and was contesting against a local Shiv Sena candidate who is from the Shinde Sena candidate. So I think that rebels are causing a dent on both the sides, but how much will they dent Maha Vikas Aghadi or Mahayuti, that remains to be seen. But let's continue this conversation, and I am going to bring Aditi again. Aditi, in a way, while we are looking at this very hyper-localized election, there is that sentiment also for Eknath Shinde, in Thane belt in particular, where he is seen as a sincere man who has become like a common man chief minister. You know, CM for him, as he said, means common man. Do you think this election, when people vote for sympathy or they vote for revenge, as it happened during the Lok Sabha, they vote only once. When it comes to another election, they vote on different set of issues? Aditi.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Shinde, it cuts both ways. The inaccessibility because of health and other reasons of Uddhav Thackeray is compared directly with the ease with which Shinde sort of relates to the common man, the ordinary people. At the same time, the idea of revenge is also very much present because a lot of people feel that Uddhav Thackeray was not treated properly, was not treated fairly, and that Shinde basically stabbed him in the back. So it cuts both ways. It depends on the predilection of the voter, the immediate circumstances surrounding him, and of course, local factors.
That's right. Aditi Fadnis there also talking about, of course, whether or not it's going to be the sympathy wave in favor of the MVA once again, or Chief Minister Eknath Shinde is also going to resonate among the voters there in Maharashtra. Bringing in Sajjan Kumar once again, if you talk about the farmers' issues, BJP lost out on a number of seats in northern Maharashtra, and also agrarian issues have been something which Maharashtra has been identified with time and again. But we also had our reporters doing ground reports, essentially talking about how the farmers said that there was a lot more expectations riding on the Mahayuti government, which have not exactly been fulfilled in the last few years. So we've seen the outreach, of course, going out in the manifestos from both the MVA and the Mahayuti side. But in terms of the farmers' issues, who do you think has the edge in the battleground state?
Let me put it in perspective, because we interacted with a substantial kind of in rural area to the farmers' household. Now, yes, if you have the conversation, in that conversation, the complaints about the low output and the prices being not below the MSP, these factors are there because of the uneven rain. So particularly in Vidarbha and Marathwada region, the cotton and soybean, and if you go to north side for cotton, but for onion this time there is no complaint because the productivity and output is there. But is it translating into something what we call as the rural distress or a farmer's anger, and will it have a election centric implications or not? I think we need to see that farmers do not operate in singularity. They are not just farmers. They consider their unit as the household. So what has happened between two festivals, between Raksha Bandhan and Diwali, the Eknath Shinde government has given on an average, and this is a rough estimate, 20 to 30,000, cash doles to a substantial number of the rural households. So Ladki Bahin Yojana, 5 installment in 7.5K. If there are 2 women, 3 women, it multiplies. Then also there have been Kisan Samman Nidhi, which 6,000 from the center and 6,000 added by the state government. Besides that, the insurance, that is Pik Bima, has given some. So in total, you see from April onward, the electricity charges has been waived off. So that way, what has happened that yes, there are complaints, but people are also saying that in their household, some sort of a caste dose is reaching out. So therefore, it has neutralized. Except Marathwada, which has a different Jarange Patil community-centric anger, but in Vidarbha and North region, we did see that the farmers' complaints are there, issues are there, but they are not leading to what you call as the distress or some sort of an anger. Because in 4 months, the Shinde government, and primarily the Shinde government, it's an amazing transformation of his image, who was considered as a traitor, as a person who was dependent upon the BJP. Now he has arrived as a leader. Kam samay mein bahut acha kaam kiya hai isne. He takes quick decision. And he has now identified more with the scheme-centric, image rather than Uddhav versus sort of a sympathy. So for Uddhav, sympathy is there. But then people are also actively considering the schemes that are reaching out there. So my view is that farmers' issues are there in conversation, but it is not leading, to some sort of a occupational identity of the people. They are not voting as farmers because the cash that has reached out to their household has effectively neutralized that depressing scenario. And therefore, I think at the end of the day, it is the candidate factor. Contrary to the perception that Ajit Pawar is the weakest link of the Mahayuti, what has happened in Paschim Maharashtra accounted for 5 districts and 58 seats. Because elections are hyper-local, so sympathy for Sharad Pawar is there, but between the sympathy and the vote comes the candidate factor. And many of the local powerful candidates have defected and contesting on Ajit Pawar's NCP.
And
so
Sanjan,
at many
just
places,
to add to what you're saying, there is also this issue of farmers with changes based on their crop. So the issues of onion farmers is different from grapes farmers. Again, that's different from to sugarcane farmers. So it's a very complicated farmer
Soybean
crisis,
farmers
agrarian,
as well,
soybean farmers again, and some of them feel that the other one is more influential in terms of their reach out and what the government of the day has done. So continue to be with us. Let me go straight to Abira, who's joining us from a VVIP booth. That's where all the celebrities will be coming in any moment now. Good morning to you, Abira. When is Deepika Padukone expected?
What I hear that she's not expected. While her name is here, apparently she is in Bangalore. She's a new mum. She's with her parents. That's what. And another person who is not expected is Amir Khan and Kiran Rao. They are promoting Lapata Ladies in US right now for the Oscars. So they won't be here. But we just saw Reena Datta, who is an artist as well as happens to be Amir Khan's ex-wife. She walked in. She casted her vote. And we saw veteran actress Anita Raj, who walked in and casted a vote. But other than that, since morning, it has been a low turnout till now here at St. Anne High School in Bandra West, Pali Hill. We are still waiting for people. We have seen a lot of senior citizens coming in. As you can see, a lot of senior citizens are walking in, but hardly any Gen Z or young people walking in. So morning was really bad, but now at least people have started walking in, but not any celebrities yet. We hope to see them soon by afternoon maybe.
I was waiting to see what is seen as the look at the airport look when they actually wait for the paps to click their pictures, to now even the voting look of several celebrities. And what about the Khans, Shah Rukh Khan and the entire family? Where are they likely to vote?
Yes. They are at Mount Mary. They will be casting their vote at Mount Mary. We have Paras there, so he can update you from there. They always cast their vote. Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, they all go to Mount Mary in Bandra West.
Right, Abira, thank you so much. We'll be coming to you as soon as you spot a celeb there. So, but the point that she made also was interesting, Tonima, that early morning it's the senior citizens who are showing the youngsters of Mumbai, go out and cast your vote. But let's listen in to all the sound bites that have come in. And till 9 a.m., the voter turnout in Maharashtra is 6.60.
सबसे बढ़िया बात है इंतजाम बहुत अच्छा किया हुआ है, बहुत अच्छा इंतजाम किया हुआ है. मैं देख रहा था कि सीनियर सिटीजन के लिए बहुत अच्छा इंतजाम किया हुआ है, बहुत सफाई रखी हुई है. एंड बस आज यही है कि सब लोग आए, वोट करें. दैट इज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग.
बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है। आई थिंक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट डे है आज वोटिंग का, और बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे तो कि इतने लोग ऑलरेडी आए हैं। आई होप कि और ज़्यादा भारी मात्रा में आए और वोट करें।
आइए वोट कीजिए, ये हमारी एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है। ECI का मैं आइकन हूँ, तो बहुत समय से मैं यही कह रहा हूँ, लोगों को यही दरख्वास्त कर रहा हूँ कि आइए वोट कीजिए, हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है। यहाँ फैसिलिटीज़ भी अच्छी है, और जैसे कि मैंने अभी कहा कि सारे ऑर्गेनाइजर्स ने यहाँ पे अच्छी फैसिलिटीज़ की है, सिर्फ हमारे लिए नहीं, मगर मैं ये उम्मीद करता हूँ कि सारे लोगों के लिए अच्छी फैसिलिटीज़ रहेंगी। पूरा जो पीरियड है, वोटिंग पीरियड, वो पूरे समय तक अच्छी फैसिलिटीज़ रहे, यही मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ, और किसी को तकलीफ ना हो। आइए ज़रूर वोट कीजिए।
I think it's a responsibility of every citizen to go and vote, और बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है देश के लिए। हॉलीडे मत बनाइए, just go and vote man. All the best, जय हिंद।
Okay, thank you sir.